Hello to all. Welcome to the 12th annual Women's Voices Now Film Festival. Welcome to our award ceremony. It is May 13, 2026. My name is Heidi Bash-Harod, and I proudly serve as the Executive Director of Women's Voices Now, where we use film to drive social change that advances girls' and women's rights globally. I am speaking to you from Los Angeles, California, and I am so honored and delighted to be the person who gets to MC this event and to celebrate the incredible achievements in film that we are going to share together. It's unbelievable, but that the film festival is now at the awards ceremony. There's so much that goes into this process. I want to take a moment to appreciate all the individuals who got us to this moment in time. First and foremost, I want to give a very big shout out to our programs assistant, Sage Mendez, who is literally making this event and all the events before it possible with the trailers and making sure that everyone has their Zoom links and knows what they need to do and when and where. Sage, I am deeply indebted to you for making this all possible. So thank you so much. I want to thank our previewers, nearly 20 individuals who volunteered their time last fall to do the first round of review and evaluation of all the films. We couldn't have done this without you. I want to thank our jury members who watched almost 30 hours of films and deliberated carefully, thoughtfully, intentionally, appreciatively putting their heart and soul into determining who is going to walk away with the cash prizes today. And I can say that we wish that we could award each and every single film that competed in this film festival with something, because all of you are incredible storytellers telling the most difficult stories that there are to be told that the world must hear. So we applaud each and every one of you. And I want to applaud especially our jury members who gave so much of themselves as volunteers to bring us to this moment today as well. I'd also like to thank all of our team at Women's Voices Now, especially Lamine Ascofare, who has been the one to attend to our over 2,300 ticket festival goers this year, making sure that the beautiful platform he built worked as it needed to, and when it didn't, that he was promptly able to resolve issues. Lamine, thank you for the beautiful platform and giving such an honorable space to all these films to be premiered to our audience all over the world. I also want to remind everyone that while the Film Festival Awards ceremony is today, the Film Festival does not close until May 20th. So you do have time to continue watching the 39 films in competition. And if you haven't caught the ones who will be winning, this is your week chance to cram in the winning film. So I encourage you to do so. If there are any issues, please do not hesitate to reach out. I want everyone to know as well that our film festival is an independent women's rights documentary film festival, and it is our mission to gain visibility and access and opportunity for the filmmakers who participate in our festival. All ticket proceeds go directly back into the film festival campaign to make sure that people see about our festival and see the films. So while we have over 2,000 ticket goers, festival goers to our festival this year, I want you to know that over 10 million people, over 10 million impressions were seen of this film festival. So we are not only trying to raise awareness of the issues and the films, but also you as filmmakers by creating a platform that you want to bring people to. As well, there are so many beautiful reviews of your films and comments. You really moved people this season. So thank you for your hard work to our filmmakers. And we hope that all of our audience members continue to consume the films and to learn and to grow and to share and to help us spread the word so our festival can continue for many years to come. Our film festival is about promoting emerging women filmmakers with an emphasis on women behind the camera who create social change films to advocate for women's and girls' rights around the world. This year's theme was Forward in Her Footsteps, and it was reflected through the 39 films representing 26 countries that we had the privilege to premiere this year. I want also that everyone to know that we do not set a theme going into the festival. We set a theme once the films have selected. While there's 39 stories being told on screen, the stories that we're premiering and broadcasting, they're telling a story amongst themselves too. And what really stood out this year, and we hope all of our audience members saw that, is that while we're in a time of backlash against women's rights, undoubtedly, we have so much strength to draw upon from the people that came before us. And so we are not to give up hope. Our filmmakers continue to inspire us to keep moving forward, to follow in her footsteps. And I hope that while we're taking in so many difficult stories, that we're also reminded of what it takes to make progress and that we don't give up and we find strength in each other as we continue to do this. Today, we are going to award $13,000 in cash prizes across 8 categories. And we have many presenters to help us do that. Just to understand a little bit about how the award ceremony part will go, I will introduce the presenters, then the presenters will talk a little about the film. You'll see the trailer, and then we'll hear from the filmmakers themselves. And we have almost all of our winning filmmakers present today, so we are so excited about that. And now, before we get to the award ceremony, I have the extreme pleasure and honor of introducing to you our sixth Women Making Waves awardee. Usually, I do not know the awardee very well beforehand, as we look for women all over the world to accept this award. The Women Making Waves Award is recognizing a woman who's shaking up the media industry, either in front of the camera or behind the camera, for the benefit of all. And this woman today that we're honoring, she does both in front of and behind the camera. And I've also had the pleasure of working with her in our Girls Voices Now program every summer when she comes to inspire our girls to tell stories boldly. So it is my pleasure to introduce you to Carmen Marquez. She is a Mexican-American independent reporter. For almost a decade, she has focused on migrant communities and has previously worked as TV anchor reporter at Telemundo 52, NBC4 Los Angeles. She has covered Latinos in the USA for Telemundo and NBC Network. She's currently field producing for diverse outlets, including Channel 4 News in London, Latinus Mexico, and UCLA Latino Policy and Politics Institute. She's also currently reporting for 100 Latina Birthdays, an original documentary series from Peabody-nominated LWC Studios, where she researches Latina health and all of the different life stages. Carmen, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Women's Voices Now Film Festival as our Women Making Waves awardee. I'm excited to have a little conversation with you to kick off this celebration today. So first, I want to say congratulations. We're honored that you've accepted this award, which Sage, can you show her the award? We don't have it physically. It's arriving tomorrow, but if you can put up a little image of that when you have a chance, that would be wonderful. Your work aligns so beautifully with the work that we do at Women's Voices Now, Carmen. So I would like to now invite you to greet our audience members and tell us a little bit about what it means to you to receive this award today.
Wow. Like, okay, so first of all, I never thought I could be like nervous via Zoom. Um, but thank you so much. This means this is a true honor. You Heidi spoke so much about, everything I've done throughout the past decade, but if I'm being honest to my core, I don't think I would have been able to achieve any of those things without the help of women in my life. I do want to recognize Valeria Fernandez, one of my professors at journalism school. I want to thank Juleika Lantigua from LWC Studios, Maria Barquin. There's so many women and teams of people that have helped me build this career. It's never done alone. So thank you for that. And it's once again a true honor to be here and to receive this award, Heidi.
I'm so glad to have you, Carmen, and thank you for recognizing all of those women whose footsteps that you follow in, because that's how we get to where we are, right? We never do any of this alone. It takes a lot of hard work, but we follow in the footsteps of those who've come before us. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
With nearly a decade of telling stories from migrant and Latino communities, what is one narrative that you've helped shape that you believe has had the most significant impact on public perception?
Wow. So I recall about a maybe 11 years ago when I was first starting to work in TV as an anchor and reporter. There was this one dimensional victim, illegal, alien narrative for migrants, right? And throughout the years, it's been a whole like the work and the effort of community to reshape that narrative with portraits of migrants as full, complex people, as workers, as parents, as artists, as doctors, whose contributions reshape the places they live in. So I've been able to witness that shift and to see how media and how audiences talk about immigration nowadays. Taking it from this like fear-based framing to conversations about migrants in a human dignity like light has been one of the big gifts that I've been able to witness.
Thank you, Carmen. I think the point that you make about humanizing individuals, it applies to any of those among us that who we consider to be the other, right? There's something about when we're not able to really relate, to have empathy, to connect with the people that we're hearing about, it's very hard to understand how we're supposed to move in the world on these topics. So your work in humanizing those who we are, taught to thought of as other, or maybe even as of late in the news, what we see on our screens, which is very challenging, we have to keep connecting to each other. So thank you. I think that's a very powerful narrative to have focused on in your work. And of course, it's very relevant today. My next question for you is, as a documentary producer, how do you adjust your voice to ensure that these migrant stories resonate with diverse audiences? So building on this humanization. So it's important to be a voice who don't feel that they're being seen or heard, because for them, it gives them strength to fight another day, right? Like at Women's Voices Now, we're always trying to amplify the voices of those we may not hear who are women, but also for those who are also women who may be experiencing the same thing, to feel they're not alone. And that's so it's kind of twofold. So you're empowering your community to feel seen and heard, but you're also empowering those who, though it's not their experience, to think about their neighbors and to show up for their neighbors. So wondering how you make that happen.
This is, I feel like this is where the magic of filmmaking and storytelling lies in. Sometimes there aren't enough words to generate that empathy. And when you're covering migrant communities, there is the language barrier too. So you have like two odds that, against generating that connection. But that's when powerful storytelling and film throughout visuals generate that connection that resonates with different audiences. So for me, big factors will always be sound and and film, right, and visuals, because that's one of the biggest ways to create that connection that resonates with whichever context you're coming from, as as an audience.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Taking that in.
Does that make sense?
It definitely, I mean, I want to go in many other directions, but we are time bound today. So you work on projects that are ranging from Latina health to immigration raids. How do you choose which social justice issues to prioritize in your independent work? And maybe a little bit about why you chose to go independent.
Yes. Okay. So first and foremost, I'm almost going 2 years on my independent route. I will be turning 2 years in 2 months, so I'm super excited, and it's been the most challenging and the most rewarding thing I've ever done. So I decided to go independent because I believe in I'm just gonna say, like, I believe in my stories. I believe that our stories and our communities have so much relevance. And many times, if you're working for one big corporation, they're probably gonna go with your story 1 out of 10 times. But I wanted my story to be the one 10 out of 10 times. So I just decided to do it on my own. I built my career to a place where I generated my own connections, and I was in a good place to then take that leap of faith. Now, when it comes to that question of when do I decide to shift from like health policy to immigration raids, it depends on the urgency. It was last year, and it was the summer last year when the raids started happening in Los Angeles. And I was working on the 100 Latina Birthdays podcast. And I was literally, researching policy, talking to women about menopause. But then this was the urgent call, the raids, the neighborhoods in Los Angeles being shut down, people not wanting to come out. So I had to, like, put policy to the side and immediately focus on producing and being in the front lines of the raids that were happening. So that's kind of how I choose, the work that I'm doing. And then eventually, because of my mental health, which is very important as a storyteller, I had to, step back from being in the front lines of the raids, to go back, take care of myself, and be stable again, to be able to like go and cover that again once it was urgent and necessary again.
Thank you, Carmen. I think that's very good advice, especially for all of our documentary filmmakers who embed themselves in very complicated situations. And I know, based on the incredible caliber and quality of the films that we have in our festival that they emotionally invest as well. And so learning to recognize the signs that you need to step out and come back another day is really crucial to being in this for the long haul, I believe, because it's not just a season in your life, this is your career. And I think for our filmmakers, that's the case also. So that's really very good advice and good insight too about how to be in this business for the lifetime, not just a moment.
You have to continue showing up for yourself so that you can continue showing up for the community that you're covering. So that's a must.
Beautiful. Thank you, Carmen. So as you know, our film festival and the work that we do, we focus on emerging filmmakers. We focus on women filmmakers, and it's very important as a women's rights film festival focusing on women filmmakers that we understand and acknowledge that a woman's life is not linear. The trajectory is not linear. So you're talking in our audience, there are filmmakers of all ages, there are people of all backgrounds. And so, for those who are perhaps just getting started in this as a filmmaker, a journalist, or a change maker, but don't quite have the confidence to make the leap that you have, or to really see through that story that's burning in their heart about an issue that they care about or something that they've seen in the world, what's the bold advice that you would give them to go for it?
I would say start now. Like start now with your limited contact, with your cell phone, with 100 bucks, with 150 bucks. Like do it now. Don't believe in like literally like the earthly limitations that we have. Because then you have social media nowadays. You have like the biggest platform to expose whatever you're creating so that other people that you might not even know of can maybe look at your film on Instagram, on TikTok, and believe in you, and then eventually fund you. But you have to start today. That's one of the biggest I don't know, like tips I could give someone who's starting right now. Also, volunteer, if you're really passionate, give some of your time to be on set, assist a reporter if you want to be a journalist. And once again, document your work, whether it's a story about animal conservation, whether it's a story about immigration, and then just share it online. There's so many opportunities that can find you online. Another thing, find mentors because a mentor will really hop on the phone with you for 5 minutes and give you the advice you need to hear or the encouragement that you need. So I would say like never do this alone. And because this is a women's festival, I'm just gonna say it one more time, but I really like believe in it. Like find a women mentor. Like we really back each other up like so much. And I only have women that have been mentoring me for like my whole like career. So I truly believe in supporting each other and not doing this alone.
Beautiful. Thank you, Carmen. So my last question for you is tell us something you're looking forward to be working on right now. So it sounds to me like you've had a busy few years. There's been a lot of things to report on and to cover and to dive deep into. You've taken a little time to restore, and now you're ready to be back at it, is what I've understand from our conversations recently. So what is getting you up and out of bed, really excited in the morning right now?
Okay, so right now,
And you can share with us, of course.
yes,
Yes.
no, absolutely. So right now I'm doing a campaign with Spotify and Sephora, and with the whole like World Cup going on, I'm working on some commercials with them. And second, this next Monday, I'm going to start reporting for NPR Arizona as a civic engagement reporter. So I'm going to be covering elections, what, this state that is very crucial in the upcoming elections is thinking, is feeling, and how they're going to vote. So that's what's next. And I'm super excited
Incredible.
about
Incredible. Can we find your NPR reporting clips on your Instagram if we want to follow how you're seeing these stories develop?
it. Yes, absolutely. You can follow me on Instagram, like Carmen Marquez TV. And I'm also going to make an effort to start posting on TikTok too. So Carmen Marquez TL on TikTok.
Fantastic. That's incredible. Carmen, thank you. So before I ask you to make any closing remarks to the audience, Sage has an image of your award. So we just want everyone to see it. So Sage, go ahead, spot that light up. So I'm formally presenting you with the Women Making Waves Award for 2026. You will
Oh,
receive your statuette as soon as we are able to meet in person. But there it is. And it will be for you to remember this day and this time that we shared together. So thank you for being who you are and doing what you do. And please go ahead if you have any parting remarks for our audience, anything that you want to share. Now is your chance to do so.
This is so inspiring, and this literally has given me like the inspiration to keep going and keep doing what I'm doing. So thank you, Haiti, so much for your support, from the get-go. And if there's just one thing I could say is, to every young woman with a story, let's be bold, keep creating, start now, and know that your voice can change the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Carmen. It's so good to see you and congratulations from all of us. Thank you for being with us today. We'll see you
Thank
soon.
you. Bye-bye. Good
Bye.
luck, everyone.
Thank you. All right. So fun to have Carmen here. Thank you all for being with us again here at the Women's Voices Now Awards ceremony for our 12th Film Festival. So before I know I'm trying to build up the suspense here, before we jump into our first award, I want to also take this moment to give a very special thank you to the sponsors of our film festival. Without you, we could not make this possible. That is Sony Entertainment Pictures, Monster Energy Cares, the Tom Lantos Foundation for Human Rights and Justice, and the Dudley Doherty Foundation. Thank you for your continued support of our festival. You help us reach for the moon, and we would not be where we are today without you. So thank you for believing in the power of women and the power of film to change the world. So without further ado, it's time. So our first award for today is going to be the Best Student Documentary. And to present this award is Sage Mendez, who is our programs assistant. Sage, I will later on, I will give the full presentation of who you are, but for now, because we had a little change in script, please take it away.
Hello, I am presenting on behalf of the student jury. Unfortunately, as mentioned, we did have a change in script, but this year the best student documentary goes to a film that is powerful, explores the erasure of women's history and the importance of reclaiming identity through storytelling. Through the filmmaker's retelling of the women in her own family, the film highlights how women are often overlooked or omitted from cultural and historical narratives across generations and societies. At its core, this film is both a personal collection, act of remembrance, and honoring the women who came before, while challenging audience to reflect on how many stories have been forgotten or left untold. In mixed Its mixed media approach and thoughtful storytelling creates a deep, emotional, and visually engaging experience that feels both intimate and universal. The jury was moved by how the film transformed its reflection into a sense of empowerment, inspiring viewers to consider the strengths found in names, lineage, and the histories we carry forward. It stands as a beautiful tribute to women's resilience and an invitation to reclaim and celebrate those legacies. It is my honor to congratulate the filmmakers of What's in a Name.
What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
It is such a beautiful film. I want to give you a time to give your speech.
Hi everyone, my name is Lutana. I'm the director and narrator of the film What's in a Name. I made this film as part of my graduation requirements from Central St. Martin's University of the Arts, London. And it's a film that really just follows the women in my family and in my life really journey from my mom to my grandma and my great grandmother. Initially, I had wanted the film to just focus on my grandmother because I'm very familiar with her story because she used to be a history teacher and she's been telling me these stories since I was very little. And then upon research, I realized that um, there really is a lot of similarities between her story and my mom and my great grandmother, and I decided to make it a generational film, essentially. This is my first award that I'm receiving for this film, so I'm really, really grateful. And thank you, really. I can't express how exciting this is for me, and my producer, Ming.
Thank you, Lotana. Congratulations on your prize. And Sage, you have one more.
Yes, and now I'm going to be presenting the a jury mention. I am honored to be presenting this on behalf of the jury panel for our student filmmakers. This year, the jury mention goes to a film that stood out for its emotional honesty and fearless exploration of the stigma surrounding female masturbation and women's sexual autonomy. Through deep personal perspectives and the film challenging taboos that have often long silenced women and opened an important conversation about shame, identity, and liberation. The jury was moved by this film's ability to keep the audience feeling empowered and seen and understood while encouraging reflections on the cultural stigma women continue to face around the world. This documentary is not only a compelling piece of storytelling, but also a meaningful call to action for greater openness, acceptance, and support for women's voices and experiences. Congratulations to the filmmakers of The Rub.
Thank you, Sage. Congratulations to our student filmmakers. Our next award is for the Best Emerging Filmmaker of a Documentary Short. For the presentation of this award, I am honored and delighted to introduce Aurora Tuğçe Aydin. She's joining us from Turkey. Aurora is a filmmaker and visual artist working between documentary and visual poetry, and her practice centers on memory, lived experience, and intimate forms of storytelling shaped by long-term research and close observation. Welcome, Aurora, and thank you for being with us to present the Best Emerging Filmmaker Award in the short documentary category.
It's a pleasure to be here. Hello, everyone. It's my absolute honor on behalf of our jury, myself, Aurora, Shweni, and Ruth, to present the Best First Time Emerging Filmmaker Award. And before I name the film, I need to tell you about a detail that none of us could shake. A mother who could not hold her daughter one last time, not because she was not there, but because her daughter's body had been burned so severely that even the softest touch of a mother's hand would have caused her more pain. We know these mothers. In Turkey, where I come from, we say their names out loud so they are not forgotten. Münevver Karabulut, 17 years old, murdered by her boyfriend. Her body dismembered, her head found in a garbage container in Istanbul. Özgecan Aslan, 20 years old, murdered for resisting rape, her body burned, her hands cut off. Emine Bulut, stabbed in the neck by her husband in a cafe, in front of her 10-year-old daughter, her last words were, "I don't want to die." Pınar Gültekin, strangled by her ex-boyfriend, burned and buried in a barrel in a forest. Her killer's sentence was reduced for unjust provocation. Rojin Kabayish, 21 years old, found dead on the shore of Lake One. The authorities said it was suicide. Her father Nizamettin refused to accept that, and he is still fighting. Gülistan Doku, 21 years old. She disappeared on a January morning in 2020 in eastern Turkey. Her body has never been found, and her mother Bedriye says, "Gülistan neredesin? Where are you, Gülistan?" We say their names, and we will not stop until there are no more names left to say. And then we watched a film from Peru, and we met Katrin Gomez, set on fire in public by her boyfriend, and we met her mother, Cynthia. What this film does cinematically is deceptively simple, and that simplicity is its greatest achievement. There is no complex formal strategy. There is only a woman, a chair, and a camera that knows when to stay still. Cynthia speaks about her daughter the way you speak about someone who is still alive, somewhere with joy. with specific memory, with a mother's intimate knowledge of a child's smallest gesture. She describes Catherine's childhood as if she is living it again in real time and the audience lives it with her before the horror arrives. That quality, a testimony that feels almost unbearable in its clarity, is something documentary filmmakers spend entire careers trying to capture. Testimony that lives in the body before it reaches to mouth. Testimony that still burns. This filmmaker found it on her first attempt because she understood that her only task was to create a condition for Cynthia be fully present, and then to get out of the way. That instinct to trust completely, to serve the subject rather than the film, is what this award recognizes today. Not technical mastery, not formal innovation, but the rarest thing in documentary cinema, that wisdom to know that some stories only need to be witnessed. This is forward in her footsteps means to us this year. From Istanbul to Lima, the names are different, the pain is the same, the refusal to forget is the same. It's our great honor to present the best first-time emerging filmmaker award and a prize of $1,000 to Jasmine Kuyakibro for Justice for Catherine Gomez. Catherine, Cynthia, Jasmine, os vemos, os escuchamos y no os olvidamos. We see you, we hear you, we do not forget you.
Katy nació un 2 de agosto del 2004. A las 8:28 de la mañana, nunca voy a olvidar a mi hijita cuando nació. Era bandida, inquieta, gritona, era única ella con su bulla. La profesora me dijo, ella era mi delegada. Señora, tenía un voz de mando. Y yo bien gritona, bien renegona, aguerrida ella. De chiquita jugaba con la Penny. Se dobló no sé cuántas veces el mismo tobillo. Era aguerrida, así, guerrera. Ella, por más dolor que tuviera, seguía adelante. Y eso se demostró el día en que ese desgraciado la quemó. A pesar del dolor, mi hija hablaba. Fue un 18 de marzo donde ya todo comenzó la pesadilla, ¿no? de lo que nos tocó vivir. Ellos no eran exactamente pareja. Ellos eran enamorados que recién estaban aprendiendo a conocerse. Le preguntan y le dicen, ¿cuánto tiempo conocías a Caterine? 15 días. Yo conozco a Caterine 15 días. ¿Y cuánto tiempo llevaba saliendo con ella? 10 días. Caterine era una chica de que era independiente, trabajaba, ganaba su plata y no le pedía nada a nadie. A mí me va a controlar, mamá, me decía. Ha sido su intención, es tratar de manipularla y controlarla. Pero ella no se dejó. Porque en su verita que se conoce sale que él es manipulador, controlador. Le gusta que le hagan caso a lo que él dice. Caterina quería ir a una fiesta y él no la dejaba ir. Y él dijo, tú no vas a ir a ningún lado, tú me respetas en la cara. Jajaja, yo igual voy a ir, dice que le dijo Katy. Porque sé que le agarró del cuello para quitarle el celular. Ella cruza la pista. Se sientan en las gradas donde fue el incidente. Y él la cruzó la pista atrás de ella, pero él se fue para el grifo. Le compró 5 soles de combustible, el más barato. Dicen que le rocé el combustible a Caterina y automáticamente la prendió.
Thank you so much, Aurora, for your words, and thank you, Heidi and Sage and everyone. We are very honored to have been part of this film festival. Gender-based violence happens every day around the world, and it's Cynthia's, and our hope that by telling Catherine's story, society will take a step toward change. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. We're so glad you could join us today, and congratulations to you and your team. Aurora, thank you for that beautiful presentation, for bringing those women of Turkey into the room as well. That was very moving. The next award that we are going to present is the Best Emerging Filmmaker for a Documentary Feature. I'm honored to introduce our jury member, Shweni Yang, joining us from Czech Republic. She's a writer, director, and choreographer working across film and movement, and her short films have been selected by international festivals and are currently streaming on Gilu. Shweni, please turn on your camera to present the award for Best Emerging Filmmaker in the documentary feature category.
Hello, greetings, Women's Voices Now. I'm so honored to present this award for Best Emerging Filmmaker of a documentary feature at the Women's Voices Now Film Festival. 4 jury members watched more than 24 total hours of film. When it comes to the topics at hand, this can be and was an emotionally draining and emotionally gratifying process. Among the selections, they saw real passion and enthusiasm for filmmaking, which made their decisions difficult ones to decide upon. The award-winning film tells the remarkable story of a blind woman, poet, and PhD in Persian literature who teaches Braille to visually impaired children. Determined to expand their opportunities, she sets out to organize English language classes. Despite being denied financial support from benefactors, she perseveres. Her unwavering commitment leads to the successful launch of the program. Along the way, an unexpected emotional bound gives her hope and strength. I'm proud to present the award-winning documentary for the 2026 Women's Voices Now Film Festival's Best Emerging Filmmaker for a documentary feature. Is Narkis, directed by Zainab Kalimi.
تو خانواده شما برادرتون و پدرتون نابینا هستن.
من نابینم که مسئولیتش سنگینه.
عشق دیگه بینایی نابینایی نمیفهمه که.
هم دکترای زبان و ادبیات فارسیه.
بزرگترین آرزو چیه؟
چیش بود هدف دارمش.
دست زدم به مشروب سمی. نور چشمامو زد.
دوست دارم یه کاری برای بچه‌ها انجام بدم.
4 نفر ولی آدم مؤثر استفاده کنید بهتر از اینکه از 20 نفر سیاهی لشکر استفاده بکنید.
Hello everyone, and thank you to the esteemed jury and the organizers of this festival. It's a true honor for me to be here among such a thoughtful community, and I'm excited to share this moment with you. I believe that women in every corner of the world have powerful voices, and it is truly beautiful that this festival strives to be an echo for those voices. I am speaking to you. I'm speaking to you from Iran, a land where the voices of women, like musical notes, are a constant source of love. Women who practice living with hope and who fight for every act of creating and rebuilding. Narkis tells the story of a woman from this lineage, a woman who with her eyes closed plays the music of life. As a woman, I am proud and I try to be a voice for the women of my country, so much so that my next film will also be about a woman. Once again, my sincere thanks to the jury and the festival organizer. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Zainab. We're so thankful. I am so grateful and thankful that you're able to join us from Iran. I know it is not easy to be in Iran or from Iran these days, and it's so meaningful for us to have you join us. So thank you to Ali Reza for making sure you could be here, and congratulations to you and your team on your beautiful film, Narkis. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. So it is now time for us to present the Lantos Award for the Best Human Rights Documentary. We are so proud to be joined by our partners from the Lantos Foundation for Human Rights and Justice and our awards presenter, President of the Lantos Foundation, Dr. Katrina Lantos-Sweat, who is going to present the award. The Lantos Foundation was established to carry on Congressman Lantos's proud legacy as a leading advocate for American engagement in human rights globally. They seek to advance human rights and justice by advocating for the United States and other democratic nations to prioritize these fundamental rights for all global citizens through campaigns and initiatives designed to raise awareness about key human rights challenges and by supporting and empowering those on the front lines of these struggles. And so now it is my honor to welcome Dr. Katrina Lantos-Sweat, who I'm always so honored and delighted to share space with, and so grateful to you for making your time and your busy schedule to be with us. Welcome, Katrina.
Thank you so much, Heidi. And I just have to say that I feel, on the one hand, so supported, but also so empowered to be a little part of this sisterhood that my dear friend Heidi Bash Herod, but her whole team at Women's Voices Now have built. And from the gorgeous diversity of the countries and the names and the perspectives and the visions, you have brought us all together for really a very powerful and important cause. So it's a thrill for me to be here and to be a little part of it. We at the Lantos Foundation are incredibly proud to partner with Women's Voices Now to present the award and prize money for the Best Human Rights Documentary. It was the mission of our founder, my late father, Congressman Tom Lantos, to carry, in his words, the noble banner of human rights to every corner of the world. Through support for this online film festival and by lifting up these bravely told stories from around the globe, we are really grateful for the opportunity to move this mission forward. The Best Human Rights Documentary is defined as an engaging, fact-based documentary film that both explores a human rights issue affecting women or girls and presents solutions, resources, or a call to action to address that issue. The Lantos Award for Best Human Rights Documentary and the $2,000 prize that goes with it honors a film from any category that best illuminates a human rights champion or activist or examines a human rights issue. The winning film should be rooted in the recognition that the struggle for rights for women and girls is inextricably linked to the fight for basic human rights for all people. The focus of this year's Women's Voices Now Film Festival has been following in the footsteps of those women who have come before us. But the women portrayed in this film are actually the exception to the through line of the festival, as they are true trailblazers doing work that no other women in the history of their country have done, namely being involved in politics, advocating for women's rights, gender equality, and daring to stand up to the Taliban. They are walking a path that women in their country haven't before, in the hopes of continuing to move forward, and they ask us, the audience, not to forget them. We watch in this film as 4 female politicians negotiated with the Taliban on behalf of war-torn Afghanistan. These guardians of women's rights remind us that in many places in the world today, the stakes are higher than ever, and that, to quote them, where rights are not protected, there can be no peace. So today, I'm very excited to announce that the winner of the Lantos Award for Best Human Rights Documentary is The Sharp Edge of Peace, directed by Roya Sadat.
آتش‌بس حقوق زنایی بر ما خطای سرخ است و این خط سرخ شاید طالبان زود نپذیرند مگر که نمیپذیرد چه نمیزنیم این همینجا برش میمانیم ما بی‌حوصله نمیشیم ما رفتن و علاقمند به زودترین فرصت که بدون هدف بریم به افغانستان نیستیم
and you can count on us.
که ببینیم در مقابل دو افراد که قد
حقیقتا منطق عقل استدلال نمیفهمن. او طرف هر روز ما شما تلفات داریم، هر روز جوانای ما به خاک خون انداخته میشه. این طرف اینا از یک غرور، از یک تکبر، از یک حالت وحشت صحبت میکنن. واقعا دردآور بود، بسیار دردآور بود.
Someone say that, oh, you have to be flexible in your constitution. I said, flexible in what? Flexible in women's issue, freedom of speech, equality. Which one of this we can say, okay, never mind, I could give it away. It is very easy for people to talk it, but we are going to live it.
We cannot say that women in your own countries deserve to live in respect and dignity, but it's okay for women of Afghanistan to live in the situation that they are now. Peace is not just silencing the guns. Peace is about inclusion, about tolerance.
خدای مکی داسې وصول راسي سپغه کې د اتباعو حقوق د ښځو حقوق خوندي ونوسي هغه ته بیا موږ سوله نشو بیلی.
زنهای افغانستان اکثرا بسیار ساده به اینجا نرسیدن. هر قدر بفتیم باز هم یاد داریم چطور استاد شیم.
Bravo. Thank you so much for your strong and beautiful word. Now, Dr. Katrina, thank you so much. Let me first of all thanks from Film Festival and for the jury for this award. Thank you also for the entire of the team, the producers, crew, everyone who be behind of this film. As you know, we make this film in such a difficult situation in Afghanistan. And a special thanks to Women Voice Now Film Festival. We all know to tell the truth and support these voices through cinema is already a form of resistance. And we believe that cinema alone cannot change the world, but it can stop the world from looking away. So we all need to stand behind of this committed and independent cinema. I believe that social engaged cinema is the last space where humanity can still speak honestly, without censorship, without propaganda, and without forgetting. And why these voices are important, especially from our side. Today in Afghanistan, women are being systematically denied education, work, and public life. And also art and cinema and music is a crime and has punishment. In such times, storytelling becomes not only an act of resistance, but also a call for action. I hope this solidarity through cinema continue not only to entertain us, but also to challenge us, awaken us, and defend human dignity. Thank you very much, and keep continuing this beautiful film festival, Haida. And thank you, special thanks that through this, the last 10 years, you was very supportive for our film festival, Herat International Women Film Festival in Afghanistan. And also you support artists in Afghanistan, my colleagues. Thanks for everything, and continue this beautiful works and this solidarity through cinema and through art. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Roya. I'm reminded that there's such a paradox in this film festival celebration every year, because on the one hand, we're celebrating these incredible films and the people who make them possible, and at the same time, the subject matter is not easy and the issues are ongoing, and these are lived realities of people. And so my heart is in two places of sadness and sorrow and all those feelings that comes with taking in these films, and also the great joy in celebrating all of your achievements. So I'm just reminded of all of that, and I want to just hold both of those things together. And Roya, just know it's been an honor to be supportive and to do whatever we can to be supporting the work that you and your colleagues have done in Afghanistan and now outside of Afghanistan. Just to share with everyone, Roya and Alka were actually part of our very first film festival back in 2011, which is around the time when I came to know them. So I'm so amazed that you've continued your work in spite of everything that's happened from one country to the next. And that is the story of many of our filmmakers who they are not where they were from, and yet they continue to tell these stories that everyone needs to know so that the world, as you said, does not turn away. We do not turn away at Women's Voices Now. So thank you for recognizing that, and all of you who support us and come to this festival for sharing in that mission of not turning away when we need to be looking. So now we are going to present the next award, which is the Best Creative Documentary Short. Our presenter for this, due to time zone differences, she's currently in Japan. We have a pre-recorded message from her. So I would like to introduce our presenter for Best Creative Documentary Short. We welcome Women's Voices Now Advisory Board member, filmmaker, and Emmy Award nominated Girls Voices Now post-production coordinator, Erin Peterson. Sage, please go ahead and show us Erin.
Greetings, Women's Voices Now. It is my great honor and privilege to be with you today presenting this award and prize money for Best Creative Documentary Short. This award category seeks to acknowledge a film displaying originality and innovation, one that challenges conventional documentary style or form in addressing women's experiences or issues affecting women and/or girls. The jury made a number of nominations in this category, and it was quite difficult to come to a decision. They wanted to ensure the selected film would best represent the range of possibilities a filmmaker could explore in a creative documentary in order to determine who should receive the award. The film they decided upon is a film that does not tell us what to think. Instead, it places us in a room with women and lets us sit with the discomfort of what we hear, asking us to look at how deeply beliefs are embedded, passed from mother to daughter without question. That realization that these are not monsters, but women shaped by the same system that shapes their daughters, is where the film quietly asks us to reflect and to act. The filmmaker's courage in entering a deeply closed society in rural Iran, approaching mothers and asking about virginity, requires extraordinary access and trust. The establishing shots also reveal a filmmaker with a genuine eye for landscape and framing. There is a visual sensibility here that is promising and worth developing further. Without overt commentary from the filmmaker, the film leaves space for the audience to absorb the conversations and reflect on the shifting attitudes themselves. I am proud to present the award-winning documentary for the 2026 Women's Voices Now Film Festival Best Creative Documentary Short to Closed by Nazila Ahmadi.
چیکارش میکنه؟ بده پدرش میکشیده اگه من میکشم برای دختر من تو خونه در نمید. یه وقت ما خونه رفتیم پیش همساره میاد یه وقت پیش که میاد بعد خواهد میشه دیگه میاد. یعنی خودت هم قبول نمی‌کنی اگه همچین اتفاقی نه واکنشت چیه با دختر اگه روز دختر بیاد بگه که برای من همچین اتفاقی افتاده نه چی میگی بهش اینا برو باشه من قبول نمی‌کنم.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be part of this film festival. And then thank you so much, Heidi. You give us light and just hear our voice, which is never light and nobody know about our situation as a B woman over that side of the world, like then being Afghan woman or Persian woman in Iran and Afghanistan, what kind of a struggle we have every day. Honestly, when I was like then 17 or 18, when I decided to make this film, I just already had a like difficult situation with my family because they have never allowed me to being like then filmmaker or actress, and I just decided keep going and then made something which like I always had that question in my mind to ask for my family, but I have never able to ask my mom if this happened for me, what you want to do. And then when I escaped and then went to the Hormuz, I have a very like and hard situation because I was Afghan refugee in Iran. I'm never able to just travel by city to city because I was a refugee. And I just went there. And when I didn't have a plan to what I want to make, I just turned on the camera and asked that the first question to that woman if like then this happened for them, like the girl, what do you want to do? And then she just answered that question. Being as a woman, that my religion and my light and country, it's not easy. And then you can believe it right now is happening every day. And then a lot of women killed by that ideology about like then virginity. I don't know. I'm so excited for that. Thank you so much. You gave me that opportunity to and listen to my voice and then woman voice in my country. I hope right now everybody like stand up for the woman who's like then under like then this society and then regime and then this idea. Thank you. I'm so happy to share this moment and then that my all the goal is like then be the voice of the woman who doesn't have a voice and then you give that the chance to hear them. Thank you.
Thank you, Nazila. Congratulations. I hope that we're going to see much more from you. You have many stories to tell. So keep making those films.
Thank you.
Our next award is the Best Creative Documentary Feature. It is my honor to present the presenter for the award, Michelle Gagnon, one of our jury members. Michelle is based in Tbilisi, Georgia. She's an American expat filmmaker with a decade of international experience working within Georgia's film and arts community. She's also a documentary director, producer, writer, and animation developer, especially focusing on cross-cultural collaboration and social advocacy for women's rights and disability inclusion. Welcome, Michelle, who will present our Best Creative Documentary Feature.
Thank you, Heidi. Hello, everyone. I'm happy to present this award on behalf of the feature film jury. This award goes to the film that stood out to the jury for its artistic excellence, poetic lighting, explosion of color, and profound visual beauty, highlighting the power of the performing arts to heal communities. It's a reminder that the acts of mixing paints, writing music, making puppets, stilt walking, and even fire breathing can all be radical acts of joy and resistance in dark times. Even in a dark Guatemalan barrio, stricken by femicide, you can find women who breathe fire, who are illuminating the darkness by raising their voices against gender-based violence. The Women's Voices Now Best Creative Documentary Feature Award of $1,000 goes to Comparsa by Doug Anderson and Vicki Curtis. And here tonight is producer Anna Hanningham, who is receiving the award on behalf of the team. Congratulations.
Hablar de mi comunidad para mí es demasiado complejo. Hay cosas y situaciones que no pueden salir de acá. Como dicen, en boca cerrada no entran moscas.
Va, ok, hagamos un circulito así. Y con todo el cuerpo, ¿sí?
Soy Leslie Noemi Canela Pérez. Tengo un instinto protector para las chicas que me rodean. Lupe es mi hermana.
Dos niñas en una caja de cartón. Y cuando ya no cabían, exploraban en ese inmenso laberinto de maravillas y horrores.
En el hogar seguro Virgen de la Asunción se le prendieron fuego a 56 niñas y 41 niñas murieron ese día.
Tenemos que decir la verdad sobre lo que pasó. Esto depende de nosotras. Siempre van a pasar en las noticias lo malo que pasa en Ciudad Peronia.
Dos mujeres que desaparecieron el domingo salieron a vender empanadas y ya no se supo más de ellas.
Cuando tengas 2 años, te enseñarán a obedecer. Cuando tengas 4 años, te sembrarán una cultura de miedo. ¿Cuántas veces te has quedado callada? ¿Cuántas veces? Yo no puedo hablar con las demás personas, pero con la persona que más lo necesita hablar es con mi hermana.
Hoy vamos a pedir justicia por las que están y las que ya no están.
No quiero nombrar sus nombres en una lista de niñas quemadas.
Somos mujeres, somos niñas. Ya no queremos más violencia. ¡Ya no más!
Thank you, everyone. It's truly an honor to accept this award, but also participate alongside this extraordinary group of women filmmakers and these stories, these films that can cross borders and connect us where a person might be denied that same right. And our film Comparsa has been truly a labor of love. It's the fruit of over 17 years of art making. I had the life-changing opportunity of spending 10 years living and working alongside the protagonists of the film. I met Leslie and Lupe when they were 6 and 7 years old and have witnessed their extraordinary transformation into these powerful community leaders that they are today. And I knew there was so much I had to learn from them. And this film for us is not just about the end product, but about a tool that can serve as a blueprint for youth organizing, for young women to be inspired and engage in shifting the future of their community and using art as a way to come together and practice a different reality, practice and rehearse a different way of coexisting. So I want to just read really quickly a couple words from Lupe, one of our protagonists. She said that Comparsa is a project by people who care deeply about one another and who believe that the work we are doing to empower youth should be shared. Telling my story has been a process of healing and has given me strength. It means a lot for us to be seen, to feel we have something to teach the world despite our circumstances. So thank you, everyone. We are currently engaged in a very active impact campaign where our colleagues in Guatemala are using the film, bringing the film to communities throughout the country, training public school teachers, and really ensuring that folks that don't have access to this type of story are able to see it. We're doing the same here in the US as well. And so if you're interested in connecting or bringing the film to your community, definitely send us a message. Our website is comparsafilm.com. And thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Anna. So glad to have you and for sharing how long the film, really, that it's not just a film, it's been a lifetime with these young women who are so bold and so strong and so inspiring. If you want to put anything in the chat for people to stay in touch or follow the campaign, please feel free to do so. We'd love to have that there. Thank you so much. Our next award is Best Documentary Short, and I'm honored to introduce to all of you Nazinda Ruth, a multi-award winning Ugandan documentary filmmaker, impact producer, and creative director committed to advancing women's voices through storytelling and social justice-driven cinema. Ruth also served on our jury, joining us from Uganda. Ruth, please take it away for the Best Documentary Short Award.
Hello, everyone. It is my honor to be with you today presenting the award for the Best Documentary Short and the 2000 prize. This award goes to a short fact-based documentary film unrevealing an underexplored social impact issue affecting women, and that is rape or girls. One of the things that stood out was the film's portrayal of Hilda's resilience. It did not just tell her story, it invited viewers to reflect on the broader implications of delayed justice, making her fight feel universal, relevant. Giving an example, in Uganda, we have a famous TikToker who was raped when she was 5 years. Right now, she's famous, she's 25 years, came out in the public to say her rapist, bring her out and get justice. But the public is just seeing on because it's not something they can talk about. They feel like it's late because it's a lot of years. So seeing Hilda's story, I'm proud to announce the award for the best documentary goes to Hilda of the State of New York, directed by Arson, Corinne, and Heather Greer. Thank you so much.
I'm here to meet with the lawyers of the state of New York, who I'm suing for the suffering, the pain. I'm 81 years old, and I still suffer with all the pain and hurt that was done to me in New York training school for girls. I was never bad. I was not bad. I should have never been put in that home. I'm just here to tell the truth. That I was being raped almost 3 times a week. I don't have any witnesses. The only witness is me, telling my story.
Can you hear me?
Heather, we hear you.
Okay, I'm going to speak on behalf of the two of us. I think to pick up on Heidi's words, I would just say our hearts are in many, many places with all of these stories and all of these filmmakers. And it is really, in all of those hearts is the word honor. I feel honored to have been able to work with Allison to get Hilda's story out there. I think we are deeply honored beyond measure that Hilda trusted us with her story. We are, of course, honored to be in this pool of extraordinary women, extraordinary stories, extraordinary voices. And it's just, we do believe these types of stories can, move and change minds in the world. Heidi, I think from the moment we joined this festival, we saw how bold and you just have vision, that's beyond just a festival experience. You want these stories to reach a global audience. You want women's voices to be heard. And we're just grateful. And I think we just have to have a complete shout out for Hilda, who imagine being sent to girl jail, basically, at the age of 15, coming out at 17, and then more than 60 years later, you find out that you might have justice for something you'd never have to have justice, you never even imagined. And I do wonder what kind of strength it takes to carry that story for this long without knowing whether or not justice would ever be served. And it was, and it's complex. And we do hope that this, story helps shift the narratives, shift the legislation, and honor the women and the children who've had to live these stories and who will continue to live these stories.
Heather and Allison, thank you so much. It is an honor to be together, all of us today. This is my heart is bursting and breaking, this is very special moments. Thank you for your words and congratulations. So we'll keep moving forward. I would love to have so many more conversations with everyone in this room today. So before we move on to our next prize, as I mentioned before, the jury had a lot of difficulty determining this year's prize winners, and so we have several jury mentions to give out today. And while those prizes do not come with cash prizes, the jury absolutely wanted you all to know that these were difficult decisions, that these are incredibly powerful films, and that at our festival, we really wish that everyone could be recognized equally, but we want to give you the spotlight and to honor your achievement in filmmaking today with these jury mentions. So to bring those to the forefront, I'm going to bring Sage back up onto the screen. Sage is the WVN Programs Assistant, and they are an interdisciplinary artist, filmmaker whose portfolio includes 12 films. For their achievements in creative entertainment marketing, Sage earned a national recognition, including a Clio Entertainment Award. Sage, please go ahead and present the jury mentions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are honored to present the jury mention to films that have moved the jury with tenderness, humanity, and remarkable subjects. The filmmakers create something intimate and deeply trusting, staying close to a woman whose warmth, humor, and resilience quietly shapes every scene. Through her story, the film captures not only the certainty of displacement and asylum process, but also celerity and care that makes survival possible. The jury was especially moved by the film's quiet dignity and compassionate gaze. For the powerful portrait of women sustaining one another through impossible circumstances, we are proud to present the special jury mention for Breathing a New Life. That will be our first one, and then we have three more to present. We are honored to also be presenting a film that had a quiet strength and a lasting impact of its central story, the journey of youth athletes navigating racism, isolation, and competition. The film reveals both the cost of exclusion and the importance of visibility and representation. The jury was especially moved by the film's fluid editing and advocacy using music, which together created something emotionally rich and deeply engaging. In a festival filled with stories of women confronting barriers, this film stood out for showing how change can begin simply through perseverance and claiming spaces. For its inspiring portrayal of young women paving the way for others, we are proud to present the jury mention to Breaking Boundaries. And our third jury mention goes to a film that blends memories, landscapes, and history. The film creates something immersive and deeply felt, where images seem to breathe into one another. What moved the jury most was the film's act of reclamation, recovering history shaped by women, craft, and connections to the land, carrying them forward with care and grace. The final gesture felt so intimate, sacred, and unforgettable. For its breathtaking artistry and deeply moving meditation and cultural memory and restoration, we are proud to present the third jury mention to Cassia. And now for our final jury mention. This film was both an emotional force and a remarkable restraint, centered on a healthcare worker who's devoted to caring for others, ultimately endangered her own body. The film unfolds with patience, precision, and quite representation. What moves the jury most about this film was the portrayal of resilience and witness. Through one woman's story, the film reveals the unseen risk carrying by those on the front line of healthcare, while asking urgent questions about labor, protection, and sacrifice without ever losing sight of humanity. For the courage of storytelling and its powerful reflection on the hidden burden carried by women in caregiving roles, we are proud to present the final jury mention to Code 99881.
Thank you so much, Sage. Congratulations to our jury mentions. Incredible films that I hope many more people have an opportunity to watch at the last week of our festival. So we have now arrived at the final award of our program. It is time to present the grand prize, the Leslie J. Sachs Grand Prize Award for Best Feature Film. Here to present this award is one of our esteemed board members, Tali Bielski, who is also a relative of the founder of Women's Voices Now, the person who had the vision for this organization, Leslie J. Sachs, and we award this film in his memory and in his legacy. And so Tali, welcome to the stage and please present our final award.
Thank you so much, Heidi and Sage and the whole team of Women Voices Now. On behalf of all the board members, I mean, we are so proud to be part of this. And this evening is just such a powerful reminder of our why. So it's always so great to be with you all. And thanks for having me. So I'm gonna go ahead. Named after the founder and visionary, my uncle, behind Women Voices Now, the Leslie J. Sachs Grand Prize goes to a documentary feature film of all-round excellence, impressing audiences through effective storytelling, mastery of cinematic technique, and competent handling of its subject matter, culminating in a compelling call to action on issues affecting women and girls. This year's award-winning film deals with the issues of recognition of female priesthood. But on the meta level, it raises pressing questions on gender equality in general. How women are seen through the lenses of patriarchy and religion that limits their aspirations and concept of purpose. The planning was meticulous. One jury member reflected, and this is a quote, "There were so many glorious shots that made me scream, cinema, that is cinema." The jury also commended the use of religious artwork throughout this film, not only making it visually interesting, but accessible to audiences and emphasizing a female point of view and emotions. Simply put, the film addresses foundational values of Women Voices Now work, the promotion and realization of gender equality. We look forward to welcoming this film and its director with our Los Angeles Women Voices Now community in the fall. The Leslie J. Sachs Grand Prize Award for Best Feature Film and $3,500 goes to The Forbidden Call, Women Priests, directed by Marie Mandy. Congratulations.
I just knew that God was calling me, and I couldn't believe it. Because I'm Black, I'm a woman, and I'm Catholic. And they don't do that in the Roman Catholic Church.
Lieber Papst Franziskus, seit ich 15 bin, spüre ich eine priesterliche Berufung. Warum beruft Gott Frauen, wenn er ihnen aber nicht die Möglichkeit gibt, diese Berufung zu leben?
In a world that is populated only with celibate men, only men are making decisions.
La Chiesa delle porte aperte a tutti, tutti, tutti.
You
cannot talk about women's ordination. That's how severe the punishments are.
Wir 7 Frauen werden exkommuniziert, aber wir könnten es immer noch bereuen.
Es ist eine unsinnige Provokation.
We're not waiting for women to become equal. The women are equal. There is no discrimination.
Pope Francis was recently saying that there was a permanent ban on women's ordination. Well, somebody forgot to tell me.
Resistance to patriarchy is obedience to God.
The fact that somebody feels that they would like to become a priest doesn't make them a priest.
If you want to be like Jesus, you have to pee like Jesus.
Ordain women. Ordain women.
Bonsoir. Merci. Thank you so much. I'm talking from Marseille in France, and it's already night falling here. And I'm so glad. I mean, it's incredible. Thank you so much, Heidi and Sage and the festival and the jury. And you awarded a film that took me 19 years to make. So I guess it's an award for dedication, because no broadcaster wanted to, co-produce the film, because they said it's a non-subject. They laughed at me. They said, it's a niche, those women who want to become a priest. And many people think religion is a private issue, but in fact, religion is really a political issue, because, of course, faith is a private issue. But when you realize that all the religion in the world are institutions that treat badly women, we really need to talk about that. And, so thank you for giving visibility to the film. Myself, I'm not a believer, though I was raised in a Catholic family. But what really interested me when I met these women who wanted to become priests or already had become priests, it's the sense of vocation, the call they had. It was so strong. And I thought that this is a very universal question. Every woman in the world wants to fulfill her dreams and become what she wants to become. And that's kind of the message of the film. We have to fight to become who we want to be. So thank you to give so much visibility to this film, and lots of love to everybody.
Congratulations, Marie. What an exciting 19 years. I can't even imagine. And there's a little bit of a rebel in me. So I love that your film won the grand prize, because if no one else thought it was important enough, well, you've come to the right place, and we are going to prove them wrong. We are proving them wrong, and I'm so excited to bring this film to Los Angeles. I look forward to working with you on that screening in the fall. I want to congratulate every single one of our filmmakers today. I'm almost out of words. I am not a filmmaker myself, and I have to say this every year, that as a filmmaker, you have this idea in your mind and it doesn't exist in the shared reality. And somehow you pull it out of your brains creatively with a crew of people that you have to communicate with, and then you create something that never existed before. You give birth to a powerful movement. Movies become movements, and that's what we're looking for. Films that change lives, that focus on the stories of women and girls. And congratulations to all of you. Thank you to all of our presenters. Thank you to our audience members who will be watching this in the weeks to come. Thank you to the team. Thank you to our sponsors. This is very moving. I hope everyone goes outside or has a restful evening, but do something to switch gears and to just reflect on all of what we learned tonight, all of the stories we shared, all of the incredible moving words that we heard tonight. Thank you to all of the presenters for thoughtfully doing what you did and sharing what you found special about these films. I want to remind you that there's one more week left to watch the films, so go watch those winners, go watch everything in between. They are all worthwhile of our time and our conversations with those that we come across. Please help us to amplify the voices of these filmmakers and the people whose stories they're telling. One more week to watch the films, and then our next film festival opens August 1st. Please also remember we have a film collection, the Voices for Change film collection, over 350 films that are exactly like this, but their own powerful stories. If this is your first time interacting with Women's Voices Now, please don't let it be your last. Once again, I want to congratulate all of our filmmakers on their incredible achievements. Thank you for joining us for the awards ceremony. I look forward to continuing our conversations and our collaborations together. I want to encourage you to connect amongst each other. We will do that at Women's Voices Now to create, a stronger community of filmmakers who believe in the power of women's voices to change the world. So wherever you are, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Thank you so much for joining us, and all the best to everyone, and love and hugs to everyone. And thank you so, so much.